Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about something that holds the key to true happiness, confidence, and success. The power to be yourself. We live in a world that constantly tells us who we should be, what to wear, how to act, and even what dreams to chase. But in the process of trying to fit in, many of us lose sight of who we truly are. We hesitate to express ourselves, afraid of judgment, rejection, or failure. But here's the truth. Your greatest strength lies in your authenticity. When you embrace who you are, fully and unapologetically, you unlock a power that no one can take away. A power that fuels confidence, creativity, and inner peace. So today, let's explore how to break free from fear, silence self-doubt, and step into the power of being our true selves. Are you ready to own your power? Let's begin. Embracing your uniqueness is one of the most powerful things you can do in life. It is about understanding that you are one of a kind with a combination of traits, experiences, and perspectives that no one else has. Many people go through life trying to fit in, to conform to societal expectations, or to be someone they are not just to gain acceptance. However, true fulfillment comes from recognizing and embracing your individuality without fear of judgment. When you fully accept who you are, you tap into an inner strength that allows you to move forward with confidence and purpose. Society often sets standards for how people should behave, what they should believe, and what success should look like. From a young age, individuals are conditioned to follow certain norms, whether through family expectations, cultural influences, or peer pressure. As a result, many people suppress their true selves in an attempt to fit into these predefined molds. This suppression can lead to feelings of inadequacy, frustration, and even a sense of losing one's identity. The fear of standing out or being different keeps many from expressing their true thoughts, desires, and talents. But the reality is that the world needs diversity. It thrives on the uniqueness of individuals who dare to be themselves and share their authentic selves with others. Understanding your uniqueness starts with self-awareness. This means taking the time to reflect on what makes you different, what you genuinely enjoy, and what values matter most to you. It involves recognizing your strengths, acknowledging your weaknesses, and accepting every part of yourself without shame. The more you understand yourself, the more empowered you become in embracing your individuality. Many people spend their lives trying to be someone they are not, only to realize later that their true self was their greatest asset all along. One of the most significant obstacles to embracing uniqueness is the fear of judgment. People worry about what others will think, how they will be perceived, or whether they will be accepted. This fear can be paralyzing, causing individuals to hold back from expressing themselves fully. However, the truth is that no matter what you do, there will always be people who have opinions about you. Trying to please everyone is an impossible task, and in the process you lose yourself. The key is to shift your focus away from seeking validation from others and instead find validation from within. When you truly accept yourself, the opinions of others lose their power over you. Another important aspect of embracing your uniqueness is self-expression. This means allowing yourself to showcase your thoughts, talents, and passions without hesitation. Many of the greatest innovators, artists, and leaders throughout history stood out because they refused to conform. They dared to be different, to challenge norms, and to bring their unique perspectives into the world. Imagine if people like Albert Einstein, Frida Kahlo, or Steve Jobs had tried to fit in rather than embrace what made them different. The world would have missed out on their contributions. Your uniqueness is your gift, and when you express it boldly, you inspire others to do the same. Comparison is another major obstacle that prevents people from fully embracing their individuality. With social media and constant exposure to curated versions of other people's lives, it's easy to fall into the trap of feeling like you are not enough. You might look at someone else's achievements, lifestyle, or appearance and feel inadequate in comparison. However, comparison is a thief of joy. No two journeys are the same, and everyone has their own path to walk. Instead of comparing yourself to others, focus on your growth, progress, and unique journey. Celebrate what makes you different rather than trying to be like someone else. Surrounding yourself with the right people also plays a crucial role in embracing your uniqueness. The people you spend the most time with can either uplift you or make you feel like you need to change who you are to be accepted. It is essential to be around individuals who appreciate you for who you are, encourage your authenticity, and support your journey of self-discovery. Toxic environments that make you feel pressured to conform can be draining and hinder your growth. Seek out relationships that allow you to be yourself without fear of criticism or rejection. Your uniqueness extends beyond just personality. It includes your passions, interests, and even your quirks. Often people suppress their passions because they fear they are not good enough or that their interests are not normal enough to be accepted. But the things that set you apart are what make you special. Whether you have an unusual hobby, a different way of thinking, or a distinct creative style, embracing these aspects of yourself brings true joy and fulfillment. The more you lean into what makes you different, the more you discover your purpose and potential. Confidence is a byproduct of self-acceptance. When you fully embrace your uniqueness, you carry yourself different. You no longer feel the need to hide parts of yourself or apologize for who you are. Confidence comes from knowing that you are enough as you are without needing to fit into any mold. It is about recognizing your worth and standing firmly in your truth, even when others may not understand or approve. This confidence is magnetic. It draws opportunities, relationships, and experiences that align with your true self. One of the most liberating things you can do is to stop seeking permission to be yourself. Often people wait for approval before they express their true selves, but the only permission you need is your own. The moment you decide to embrace who you are without hesitation, you unlock a level of freedom that allows you to live fully. This doesn't mean you won't face challenges or moments of doubt, but it does mean that you are no longer controlled by the fear of being different. Instead, you embrace it as your superpower. Resilience is an essential part of embracing your uniqueness. Not everyone will understand or appreciate your authenticity, and that's okay. You may face criticism, rejection, or even moments of loneliness. But staying true to yourself despite these challenges is what builds strength. Resilience means continuing to embrace your individuality even when it feels difficult. It means knowing that your uniqueness is not a weakness, but a strength that will guide you toward the right people, opportunities, and experiences. Living authentically requires courage. It means stepping out of your comfort zone, speaking your truth, and refusing to conform to societal pressures. It means embracing every part of yourself, the good, the imperfect, and everything in between. Courage is what allows you to take risks, chase your dreams, and stand firm in your identity. When you live with courage, you inspire others to do the same. You become a beacon for those who are also struggling to embrace their uniqueness. At its core, embracing your uniqueness is about self-love. It is about recognizing that you are worthy exactly as you are without needing to change to fit an external standard. Self-love is not about arrogance or thinking you are better than others. It is about accepting yourself fully, flaws and all. When you love yourself unconditionally, you create a foundation for a fulfilling and authentic life. Self-love allows you to set boundaries, prioritize your well-being, and confidently pursue what brings you joy. Your uniqueness is what makes you irreplaceable. There is no one else in the world with your exact combination of experiences, thoughts, and talents. When you embrace your individuality, you not only empower yourself, but also contribute something valuable to the world. Every person who has ever made a lasting impact did so by being unapologetically themselves. When you step into your authenticity, you give others permission to do the same. Silencing self-doubt is one of the most powerful steps toward personal growth and self-empowerment. Self-doubt is that inner voice that whispers, "You're not good enough," that you don't deserve success, or that you'll fail if you try. It's the invisible barrier that holds so many people back from pursuing their dreams, speaking their truth, or fully embracing who they are. It often creeps in when you're about to step out of your comfort zone, when you're attempting something new, or when you compare yourself to others. The truth is, everyone experiences self-doubt at some point in their life. Even the most successful individuals have had moments of uncertainty. The key difference between those who achieve greatness and those who remain stuck is the ability to overcome self-doubt rather than letting it control them. One of the biggest reasons self-doubt takes root is because of past experiences. Maybe you failed at something once and now you hesitate to try again. Maybe someone told you that you weren't capable and you started to believe them. Negative experiences, whether from childhood, school, work, or relationships, can shape the way you see yourself. The mind tends to remember criticism more than praise, and over time, these doubts become ingrained in your thinking. The good news is that just as the mind can learn self-doubt, it can also unlearn it. Recognizing that your doubts are not facts, but rather conditioned beliefs, is the first step towards silencing them. Another major cause of self-doubt is comparison. With social media, it's easier than ever to look at other people's lives and feel like you're falling behind. You see someone achieving something you want, and instead of feeling inspired, you feel inadequate. The reality is that social media often showcases only the highlights. People post their successes, not their struggles. Everyone has their own journey, their own timeline, and their own challenges. When you compare yourself to someone else, you're not seeing the full picture. Instead of letting comparison fuel self-doubt, use it as motivation. If someone else can achieve something, so can you. The only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. The way you talk to yourself has a massive impact on your confidence. Self-doubt often manifests in the form of negative self-talk. Statements like, "I'm not smart enough," "I'll never be successful," or "I'm not talented." These thoughts may seem small, but over time they shape your beliefs and actions. The mind believes what you tell it repeatedly. If you constantly reinforce negative thoughts, they become your reality. The way to break this cycle is by consciously replacing self-doubt with self-belief. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "I am capable and I am learning." Instead of saying, "I always fail," say, "Every challenge is an opportunity to grow." Shifting your inner dialogue takes practice, but the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. Fear of failure is another major contributor to self-doubt. Many people hesitate to pursue their goals because they are afraid they might fail. The irony is that avoiding failure often leads to an even greater failure, never trying at all. The most successful people in the world have failed multiple times before achieving success. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the journey to success. Every setback teaches valuable lessons, builds resilience, and brings you one step closer to your goal. Instead of seeing failure as something to fear, view it as a necessary stepping stone. The only true failure is giving up. Perfectionism is another roadblock that fuels self-doubt. Many people believe that they need to be perfect before they can start something, whether it's launching a business, pursuing a passion, or stepping into a new opportunity. The reality is that perfection is an illusion. No one starts as an expert. Every successful person started as a beginner, made mistakes, and improved along the way. Waiting for the perfect time or for yourself to be good enough will only delay progress. The key is to take action despite imperfections. Progress is better than perfection. The more you take action, the more confident you become, and the less room self-doubt has to grow. Surrounding yourself with the right people can have a huge impact on overcoming self-doubt. The people you spend time with influence your thoughts, beliefs, and confidence. If you're constantly around negative, discouraging individuals who bring you down, your self-doubt will grow. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with supportive, encouraging people who believe in you, their confidence in you will help reinforce your own. Seek out mentors, friends, and communities that uplift you and remind you of your strengths. Sometimes having just one person who believes in you can make all the difference in silencing self-doubt. Taking small, consistent actions is one of the most effective ways to build confidence and reduce self-doubt. Confidence comes from experience, and experience comes from action. If you wait until you feel 100% ready, you'll never start. Instead, start where you are with what you have. Each small step forward builds momentum. Over time, what once felt impossible starts to feel natural, whether it's speaking up in a meeting, sharing your work with the world, or stepping into a new role. Each action weakens self-doubt and strengthens self-belief. The more you prove to yourself that you are capable, the less power doubt has over you. Another powerful way to silence self-doubt is through visualization. Many top performers, athletes, and leaders use visualization techniques to build confidence. Picture yourself succeeding in whatever goal you have. Imagine yourself speaking confidently, achieving your dreams, and overcoming challenges. Your brain responds to mental images just as strongly as it does to real experiences. By visualizing success repeatedly, you program your mind to believe in your potential. Affirmations work in a similar way. Repeating positive statements about yourself, such as "I am confident," "I am capable," or "I trust myself," helps rewire your subconscious mind and replaces doubt with self-assurance. Self-care and personal well-being also play a crucial role in overcoming self-doubt. When you neglect your physical and mental health, your confidence takes a hit. Lack of sleep, poor nutrition, and stress can make self-doubt feel overwhelming. On the other hand, taking care of your body and mind through exercise, proper rest, mindfulness, and healthy habits boosts your energy and self-esteem. When you feel good physically, you are more likely to have a positive mindset and believe in yourself. Prioritizing self-care is not just about feeling better. It's about setting yourself up for success by creating an environment where confidence can thrive. Breaking out of your comfort zone is essential for silencing self-doubt. The more you push yourself to do things that scare you, the more you prove to yourself that you are capable. Growth happens in discomfort. The first time you do something new, it feels terrifying. The second time, it feels a little easier. By the 10th time, it feels natural. The more you expose yourself to challenges, the more resilient and confident you become. Fear and doubt lose their power when you consistently take action despite them. One of the biggest realizations in overcoming self-doubt is understanding that no one has everything figured out. Even the most confident, successful people have moments of uncertainty. The difference is that they choose to act despite their doubts. Confidence is not the absence of self-doubt. It's the decision to move forward regardless of it. The more you act in spite of doubt, the more it fades away. Every challenge you overcome, every goal you achieve, and every time you step up instead of stepping back, strengthens your belief in yourself. Setting boundaries and staying true to yourself is one of the most powerful acts of self-respect and self-love. Many people struggle with setting boundaries because they fear disappointing others, being judged, or losing relationships. However, without boundaries, it's easy to lose sight of your identity, your values, and your needs. Boundaries are not about shutting people out or being selfish. They are about protecting your energy, time, and emotional well-being. They allow you to create space for the things that truly matter and ensure that you are living in alignment with your authentic self. When you set boundaries, you communicate to yourself and others that your needs, opinions, and values are important. One of the biggest reasons people struggle with boundaries is the fear of rejection. Many individuals are conditioned to believe that saying yes to everything makes them a good person, a good friend, a good employee, or a good partner. Society often glorifies self-sacrifice, making people feel guilty for putting themselves first. However, constantly saying yes to others at the expense of your own well-being leads to exhaustion, resentment, and even a loss of self-identity. When you prioritize everyone else's needs over your own, you gradually disconnect from what truly matters to you. Setting boundaries is not about being unkind. It is about being honest with yourself and others about what you can and cannot accept. Understanding your limits is the first step in setting strong boundaries. This requires self-awareness and reflection on what makes you feel drained, uncomfortable, or taken advantage of. Pay attention to situations where you feel resentment or frustration. These feelings often indicate areas where boundaries need to be established. For example, if you constantly feel overwhelmed at work because you take on extra tasks that are not your responsibility, it may be time to communicate your workload limits. If you feel emotionally drained in certain relationships because you are always giving but not receiving the same energy in return, it may be time to reevaluate those connections. Knowing your limits allows you to set boundaries that protect your peace and well-being. Once you identify your limits, the next step is to communicate them clearly and assertively. Many people struggle with this because they fear confrontation or being seen as difficult. However, setting boundaries does not mean being aggressive or rude. It means expressing your needs with confidence and respect. The way you communicate your boundaries makes a difference. Instead of apologizing or over-explaining, be direct and firm. For example, instead of saying, "I'm so sorry, but I don't think I can help with this," say, "I won't be able to take this on right now." Instead of saying, "I feel bad, but I need some time for myself," say, "I need some personal time, and I appreciate your understanding." Clear communication eliminates confusion and ensures that your boundaries are respected. One of the biggest challenges in setting boundaries is dealing with people who resist them. Not everyone will understand or respect your limits, especially if they are used to you always saying yes. Some people may try to guilt trip you, manipulate you, or push past your boundaries. This is where consistency is crucial. If you give in once, people will assume your boundaries are flexible and continue to test them. Standing firm is not about being harsh. It is about reinforcing your self-respect. People who genuinely care about you will respect your boundaries, even if they don't like them at first. Those who continually push against them may not have your best interests at heart. Boundaries are not just about saying no to others. They are also about saying yes to yourself. When you set boundaries, you create space for your personal growth, mental health, and happiness. You give yourself permission to rest, to pursue your passions, and to focus on what truly matters to you. Without boundaries, it's easy to get caught up in obligations, social expectations, and other people's demands, leaving little room for yourself. By setting boundaries, you take control of your time and energy, ensuring that you are living in alignment with your values and priorities. Another important aspect of boundaries is recognizing that they are necessary in all areas of life: work, relationships, friendships, and even personal habits. At work, setting boundaries might mean not checking emails outside of office hours, refusing to take on extra work that isn't your responsibility, or speaking up when you feel undervalued. In relationships, it might mean communicating your emotional needs, not tolerating disrespect, or ensuring that your personal space and time are honored. In friendships, it might mean setting limits on how much you give, ensuring that the relationship is balanced, or walking away from toxic dynamics. Even in your personal life, setting boundaries with yourself is important. This could mean managing screen time, creating routines that support your well-being, or setting limits on how much negativity you allow into your life. One of the biggest benefits of setting boundaries is the increase in self-respect and self-confidence. When you honor your own limits, you send a message to yourself that your needs matter. This boosts your self-worth and reinforces the belief that you deserve respect. Over time, setting boundaries becomes second nature, and you no longer feel the need to justify or defend them. You begin to attract healthier relationships, gain more control over your life, and experience greater peace and fulfillment. The more you practice setting and maintaining boundaries, the stronger your sense of self becomes. It's also important to remember that boundaries evolve over time. As you grow, your needs and priorities change, and so should your boundaries. Regularly reassessing your limits ensures that they continue to serve you. What worked for you a year ago may no longer be relevant, and that's okay. Life is constantly changing, and your boundaries should reflect where you are in your journey. Allow yourself the flexibility to adjust them as needed without guilt or hesitation. Another key aspect of maintaining boundaries is learning to be okay with discomfort. Saying no, standing up for yourself, or distancing yourself from toxic situations can feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you are used to people-pleasing. However, discomfort is temporary, and the long-term benefits of protecting your peace far outweigh the short-term unease. Over time, the more you enforce your boundaries, the easier it becomes. You start to realize that prioritizing yourself is not selfish, it's necessary. Boundaries also teach others how to treat you. When you allow people to overstep your limits without consequence, they learn that they can take advantage of your kindness. However, when you consistently enforce your boundaries, people learn to respect you. Healthy boundaries create mutual respect in relationships, fostering deeper connections based on understanding rather than obligation. The people who truly care about you will respect your limits, and those who don't may naturally drift away. While this can be difficult, it ultimately leads to a life filled with more meaningful and balanced relationships. One of the biggest misconceptions about boundaries is that they push people away. In reality, boundaries create stronger and healthier relationships. When you set clear expectations, there is less room for misunderstandings, resentment, and burnout. Relationships built on mutual respect thrive, while those based on guilt, obligation, or emotional manipulation tend to fall apart. Boundaries allow you to show up fully in your relationships without feeling drained or taken for granted. They ensure that your interactions with others are based on genuine connection rather than fear or pressure. Practicing self-compassion is also important when setting boundaries. You may feel guilty at times or worry about how others will react, but remind yourself that protecting your well-being is not something you need to apologize for. It's okay to put yourself first. It's okay to walk away from situations that don't serve you. It's okay to say no without explanation. Self-compassion allows you to navigate the process of setting boundaries without unnecessary guilt or self-judgment. Developing the habit of checking in with yourself regularly is essential for maintaining strong boundaries. Ask yourself if you are feeling overwhelmed, drained, or taken for granted in any area of your life. If so, it may be time to set or reinforce a boundary. Pay attention to how different situations make you feel and honor those feelings by taking action. Your intuition often knows when something isn't right, and listening to it is a powerful form of self-care. The more you practice tuning into your needs, the easier it becomes to establish and uphold boundaries that support your well-being. Embracing authenticity is one of the most powerful ways to give yourself the freedom to be who you truly are. In a world that constantly pressures people to fit into certain molds, follow trends, and meet expectations set by society, it can be difficult to stay true to yourself. Many people wear masks, hiding parts of themselves out of fear of judgment, rejection, or criticism. They suppress their opinions, alter their behavior to fit in, and compromise their values to gain approval. Over time, this disconnect from one's true self can lead to unhappiness, frustration, and even a loss of identity. Authenticity is about breaking free from these external pressures and embracing yourself fully, your strengths, weaknesses, quirks, and imperfections. It's about living in alignment with your values and beliefs without constantly seeking validation from others. One of the biggest obstacles to authenticity is the fear of being judged. Many people worry about what others will think of them if they express their true thoughts, emotions, or desires. This fear often stems from past experiences. Maybe someone was ridiculed for speaking their mind, criticized for being different, or rejected for not conforming. These experiences create a deep-seated belief that being authentic is risky. However, the truth is that no matter what you do, people will always have opinions. Some will approve and some won't. Trying to please everyone is impossible, and in the process you end up losing yourself. The key to authenticity is realizing that the only approval that truly matters is your own. When you stop seeking validation from others and start validating yourself, you gain an incredible sense of freedom. Self-awareness is an essential part of embracing authenticity. To be true to yourself, you must first understand who you are. This means taking the time to reflect on your values, passions, and beliefs. It requires looking inward and asking yourself deep questions. What truly matters to me? What brings me joy? What kind of life do I want to create? Many people go through life without ever questioning whether they are living according to their own desires or simply following a path laid out by others. Society, family, and cultural expectations can be powerful influences. But living authentically means distinguishing between what you truly want and what you've been conditioned to want. The more you understand yourself, the easier it becomes to live in alignment with your true essence. Being authentic also requires letting go of perfectionism. Many people believe that they must be perfect in order to be accepted or worthy. They try to hide their flaws, mistakes, and vulnerabilities, believing that showing imperfections will make them weak. However, perfection is an illusion. No one is flawless, and pretending to be only creates pressure and anxiety. True authenticity comes from embracing imperfections and understanding that they are part of what makes you human. When you allow yourself to be imperfect, you give others permission to do the same. This creates deeper, more meaningful connections because people feel drawn to those who are real and relatable, not those who appear untouchable or artificial. Vulnerability is a crucial aspect of authenticity. Many people associate vulnerability with weakness, but in reality, it is one of the greatest strengths a person can have. Being vulnerable means having the courage to be open about your emotions, experiences, and struggles. It means allowing yourself to be seen for who you truly are, without pretending or hiding behind a facade. Vulnerability fosters connection because it creates space for honesty and trust. When you share your real self with others, you invite them to do the same. This builds deeper relationships based on authenticity rather than superficiality. It takes courage to be vulnerable, but the rewards are profound. Greater self-acceptance, stronger connections, and a sense of inner peace that comes from knowing you are living truthfully. Another important part of embracing authenticity is learning to trust yourself. Many people struggle with self-doubt, constantly second-guessing their choices and looking to others for direction. While advice and guidance can be valuable, relying too much on external opinions can make you lose touch with your own inner wisdom. Trusting yourself means listening to your intuition and honoring your own judgment. It means making decisions based on what feels right for you rather than what others expect. The more you practice trusting yourself, the stronger your confidence becomes. Over time, you realize that you are capable of making the best choices for your own life, regardless of whether others understand or agree. Authenticity also involves expressing yourself without fear. Many people hold back their opinions, creativity, and uniqueness because they worry about standing out or being different. However, true self-expression is what makes each person special. Whether it's through art, music, fashion, writing, or simply the way you communicate, embracing your unique voice is an essential part of being authentic. When you allow yourself to fully express who you are, you attract the right people and opportunities into your life. Those who appreciate and respect you for who you truly are will naturally be drawn to you while those who don't align with your authenticity will fade away. This filtering process ensures that you surround yourself with people who genuinely value and accept you. Letting go of the need for external approval is another powerful step toward authenticity. Many people live their lives based on other people's expectations, whether it's parents, teachers, peers, or society at large. They pursue careers they don't love, stay in relationships that don't fulfill them, or conform to social norms that don't align with their true selves. This constant need for approval can be exhausting and unfulfilling. The truth is that no one else can define what happiness and success mean for you. When you let go of the pressure to meet others' expectations, you create space to discover what truly brings you fulfillment. This shift in mindset allows you to make choices that are in alignment with your authentic self, rather than living according to someone else's script. One of the most liberating aspects of authenticity is the ability to embrace change and growth. Some people fear that if they change, they are being inauthentic. However, authenticity does not mean staying the same forever. People evolve, learn, and grow throughout their lives. What feels true to you today may be different from what felt true a year ago, and that is completely natural. The key is to stay connected to your evolving self and allow yourself to grow without fear. Authenticity is about being honest with yourself in the present moment and making choices that reflect your current values and desires. It means allowing yourself to explore new interests, shift perspectives, and transform without feeling constrained by past versions of yourself. Another powerful way to embrace authenticity is by surrounding yourself with people who support and uplift you. The company you keep has a significant impact on your ability to be yourself. If you are constantly around people who expect you to be someone you're not, it becomes harder to stay true to yourself. However, when you surround yourself with those who appreciate and encourage your authenticity, you feel more confident in embracing who you are. Seek out relationships that allow you to be your full self, without fear of judgment. When you build a support system of people who respect and celebrate your individuality, it becomes easier to stand in your truth. Practicing self-acceptance is also essential in embracing authenticity. Many people struggle with insecurities, wishing they could change certain aspects of themselves to fit an ideal image. However, true confidence comes from accepting yourself as you are. This doesn't mean you can't strive for personal growth, but it means recognizing that your worth is not dependent on external factors. Accepting yourself fully, your strengths, flaws, emotions, and experiences creates an unshakable foundation of self-worth. When you no longer feel the need to prove yourself to others, you gain the freedom to live authentically without fear or hesitation. Living authentically also means honoring your emotions and allowing yourself to feel without suppression. Many people are taught to hide their feelings, whether it's sadness, anger, or vulnerability, because they fear being seen as weak. However, emotions are a natural part of being human, and suppressing them only leads to inner conflict. Allowing yourself to feel, process, and express your emotions in a healthy way strengthens your authenticity. When you acknowledge your emotions without judgment, you create a deeper connection with yourself and those around you. Being emotionally honest not only helps you live more authentically, but also fosters deeper and more meaningful relationships based on openness and trust.